were 14.
She said,
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. When you guys were 14 and 14, obviously as the players, you guys led the charge back. But what did Becky Hammond do at that point too? Also to keep you guys on the right pitch on the right path.
She kept on like harping on the points that like we have enough, we're fine, we need to do better with like the daily habits. You know, she had a lot of confidence in us, but she would see she would see glimpses of what we're capable of. And so she was just like, I see it. It's not like I don't see it. So it's just about being consistent and why are we not doing it? Like there's got to be a switch and a mode that we go into where enough is enough type of feeling.
How have you seen her evolve as a coach since you've been here?
Whew. We always get excited when it's playoff basketball coming because we always joke like, oh, Becky about to get in her bag. She's about to get in her duffel. And it's because she just continuously surprises us and she thinks next level offensively and defensively of how she can steal a couple possessions or steal a quarter or sometimes even steal a game because she pulls out certain things that we haven't seen in the regular season, so people aren't prepared for. And that's crazy to kind of think about. Like you go through all these games, but yet there's still something that you bring out of your back pocket that you had been thinking about last time you played them. So it's pretty cool to see, actually.
The finals are a prime example of that, right? It seems like you guys figure out something each game.
Yeah, she kept on adjusting. She's like the queen of adjustments and pulling out her duffel bag. Like I said, she got so many tricks and philosophies and different things that she can do in the playoffs and in a series and stuff. So I'm like, I'll take us in a series any day.
I asked you after game 4 about the journey of this entire year, what kind of compared to 22 and 23, but what did you guys as a group learn specifically the last 2 years after, coming up short last year and then finding a way to bounce back?
We're gonna win in different ways. This was totally different than 22 and 23. We were going through a lot of shit and just like it was hard, it was tough, it was moments and times that we lost home games. It was embarrassing. Like there's nothing we really didn't experience this summer, which was hard but cool to see how we can also still come together and there's still a belief in that locker room. And when we come into the game, like we have each other's back, it brought us closer actually. Like the hard times really brought us closer and we could have went our separate ways. We decided not to.
You mentioned when it comes to Jack, that she hasn't even scratched the surface yet. What does that next level look like for Jack?
Ooh, you start having a conversation of her being in the MVP conversation. And you start talking about her all defensive teams, which I think she should have been in the conversation this year.
Absolutely. All right, we'll have Zoom. Hannah, go ahead. Hannah.
That thing looked real nice.
Hi, thanks for chatting with us. How are you celebrating the win and what are you going to be doing during the off season?
I am celebrating with having fun with my teammates, having a little bit of tequila, having fun with my wife and son. My family is here. So that's what I've been doing, and sleeping a little bit, which has been great. In the off season, I'll be taking some time off and then I'll be doing Unrivaled in the off season. So yeah, I'm excited for these next few months to just have some time without having a strict schedule.
Thank you.
Darrell Harris. Darrell, go ahead.
How's it going, Chelsea?
I'm
First,
good.
has anybody told you that you are now the active leader in championships in the WNBA?
Yes.
You've thought about that. Sweet. What would you say now, after spending however long it's been in Las Vegas? What has that move done? Looking back, what has that meant for your career as a whole? How much have you learned here? How has it shaped your future goals even?
It's been amazing. One of the best decisions, not just basketball-wise, for my life. Growing, having my son here and just having my family here, it's become home off the court. And then on the court, I've just taken it to another level. What I felt like my potential, just stepping into that, the ability to play with great players like Asia and Jackie and Jewell this year, and just I saw like in the future like what it could possibly be. It just takes a minute to kind of step into that, and I don't think it's by accident. Me and Becky um, were brought together a year after me coming here. It's made um, all the difference in my career and my mentality.
Thanks. We'll go Nick, then Jackie. Nick, then Jackie. Nick, going, there you go.
Hey, Chelsea. First of all, congratulations once again. Just wanted to ask you, how were you able to build, the synergy between yourself, Asia, and Jackie, and how has that helped you over the years into this championship mode to be able to even take your game even higher, and really, go after that trophy?
There's just been a trust component that we've created. There's been a vulnerability there. We've gotten to know each other as people. Um, how we have conversations. Do you want to be great? Do you want to be good? Like, what are your thought processes? And we're all on the same wavelength of wanting to be great and want to do something super special, basketball wise, but they're also great people. And so being around them, being around their families, like you get to know the person, and people lose sight that it's not just the athlete, it's the person as well. And so when there's the trust factor off the court and there's conversations and stuff there, I mean, the synergy kind of aligned. There's some synergy there when you get on the court. And so you build trust each and every year. And it's been kind of cool to see where we were years ago, and then now, like going back to old pictures, everything. But it's been like nice to do, and you do it with like the people you compete with, but also your friends, and it's been a joy to be around them.
Thank you.
Jackie, and then Tyus.
Chelsea, thanks for taking the time. When you zoom out and you think about all that this franchise has accomplished, how would you sum up the innovation that the Aces have brought to the WNBA?
I would say forward thinking. I would say proactive rather than reactive. I would say building a legacy. Um, Greatness shows itself in different ways, shapes, and forms. It just doesn't happen overnight. There has to be a mentality behind it with the front office and the coaching staff and the players that you bring into an organization as well. So forward thinking, innovative, and it's become like a family, with people coming out for alumni weekend, like try to bring a lot of people together in different ways.
I appreciate that. And also just building off of the question asked about your off season, now that the finals are over, I know you're a player rep in the players union. I'm just curious how much involvement you imagine having in the current negotiations and what that might look like for you, if that means hopping on calls, especially if the deadline is extended past the end of the month.
Yeah, I will be able to be a lot freer and make calls. Before, like it would be during our practice time or during media time, so I wasn't able to make some of those meetings. So I'm looking forward to being on those calls and actually hearing hearing the calls themselves rather than like from somebody else. Oh, this is what happened with the call. It might be some things that's lost in translation or you just forget. So I'll be involved in calls and meetings and things in the off season right now.
Thank you so much.
We'll end with Nikias on Zoom.
All right, Chelsea, congratulations again. I had two for you, if that's okay.
Okay.
One, which area of your game are you most proud of from this season?
My defense, 100%. That was something that I really focused on, being in shape to be able to guard and play multiple positions and sustain it at a high level. So defensively, I'm really proud of how good I've gotten guarding the guards and posts.
Got you. And then secondly, as you've accomplished just about everything, the championships, gold medals, all W, all star, finals MVP, I guess like what goals do you set for yourself at this stage? And have you given thought to how much longer you want to play in the W?
As long as possible. I want to be the winningest player in the league by the time I get up out of here. So years down the line, that's what I hope to accomplish. More, I always would love more gold medals, and it's in LA, so that would be pretty cool. So constantly trying to achieve like different heights, you know. Now I've tied a lot of people. Can I surpass them? Can I be up there with Rebecca Brunson? I think has 5. So I mean that's a story for time for another day. I'm gonna just enjoy this 4th one right now.
Got you. Thank you.
We'll wrap up in person.
I don't know if your answer is any different than after game 4 when you're celebrating. You asked about the CBA, but do you have any different answers as far as your approach to that, and just what are you expecting as between now?
It's going to be a battle, understanding and the players. There's no league without the players. There's nothing you can do really without the players to me. So
And what just want to ask you, I'm not sure, you probably did hear all the fans that came through in game 4. It was loud right behind you.
Yeah.
Just what did you think about that?
it was awesome. I was hoping that we were going to see some Aces fans and see some red jerseys in the mix of all that orange and purple. So it was pretty cool to see whether they bust or flew. It was just awesome to see, and they understood like our mentality going into game 4. Because they could have waited and be like, oh, let's see if they'll do it and come back home. But no, we took care of business in 4 games. And so it was cool to see them actually have that confidence in us and actually travel and understand what we're going for game 4.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Okay, I'll make it really quick.
Yeah.
They all do. It's tequila. All right. Chill. Oh, yes. All right. We'll start with both in person. We'll talk to Jewell.
So anyone can start in person for Jewell.
Jewell, we talked about the resiliency that you went through this year, and just probably everything that encapsulated really over the last year and going back before the trade. Just what did you learn about yourself, I guess, throughout the whole process?
I learned that I could definitely work through chaos. And even in the chaos, I'm actually very calm. I also realized that the more vulnerable I am, the better I am as well. And even, sharing things that are tough to talk about with people, with my life coach, with my family, whoever, is actually a way to kind of work through what's kind of going on in your life. And I think that's what really allowed me to push through and find the joys of, basketball again, and life and everything. And coming to the Aces, you have so many people from top to bottom that just care about you as a person. So it really allowed me to embrace that aspect and really reveal, my true self.
I was catching up on when you did Sue's podcast earlier, and I think you had mentioned that you weren't really sure if Vegas was going to be one of the destinations you had a couple ideas, but when you got here and you got to be a part of that culture, just did it seem like it fit in perfectly your mentality and what you wanted to accomplish in basketball?
You never really know, when you ask for a trade, it's definitely my situation where you're gonna go, right? Like you're not really in control. I wasn't in control of the decision. And knowing that I got traded here, I mentioned, the first call I got was from Asia, and her just, on FaceTime, we were just yelling, excited to finally be teammates and share, a season together and just watch each other be great. And so that was the first call, was from Asia. And after that, it was calls from the team, call from Jackie, call from Chelsea. And right away, this embracing of just the excitement that they had for me to be a part of, their squad. And once I finally got here, it's the same thing. It was nothing but love. I felt that from the fans from the first game all the way to the last game. It was just a match made in heaven, honestly. Just what I needed to heal, the environment that I needed to be in to grow and really trust, myself, but also everyone else around me. And so it was just, perfect timing.
How much did you go into the decision about coming off the bench? How much of that did I guess you say, yeah, I'm all for that idea? Like I'm saying, if you went to Becky and suggested that.
Yeah, I tried it twice before, and she was like, no. Our assistant coach Ty said the same thing. Like we were texting back and forth. I'm like, I think we should try this. All caps, no. And I was just, seeing how the team was, seeing what we needed, trusting everyone who's been in practice, our whole teammates. I see what everyone is doing all the time, and it just made sense that I was gonna go and talk to Becky and tell her right away, like, listen, trust me on this, like, please let me do it. And she was like, okay. And even the next day or 2 days later, I think we had a game, and right before pregame, she walks in, she sticks her head in, she's like, so I'm like, keep it, like, I'm coming off the bench, it's okay, and no, the trust she had in me to make that decision, but also my teammates too, was really cool. And I just, like I told her, if it didn't work, we go back, but it seemed to work.
How much did you weigh that decision of, am I making the right decision as far as, your pedigree and what you've accomplished?
I didn't really I just thought it just would be a good idea. I didn't really worry about, what I've done in the league, who I am in the league, what it's going to mean for my legacy. None of those thoughts were in my head. It was, what can I do to help this team win? What can we do to change the course, of where we're on? And like I said, if it didn't work, we just go back. But I just trusted, everyone on this team, and I knew we would find a way to get it done.
What did you not know about Becky that you learned that may surprise you when you got here?
She loves trivia. I didn't know that. And if you're good at trivia, you get paid pretty well too. Luck in the pot. No, but she's awesome. She knows a lot of random facts, but they're all facts of just either trial and tribulation, just random facts. And she's definitely a daredevil as well. And that's something that's really cool. And she's not afraid to be challenged. She's not afraid to challenge others. She's not afraid to grow. And it's really cool to see that as a coach. Sometimes you kind of get stuck in your ways. And for Becky, she wants to get better every single day. She wants to learn, and she wants to serve. She wants to serve others the best of her abilities. And it's pretty cool to do that.
It seemed like in the finals, she had a different game plan for each game, different adjustments each game. What does that say about her willingness to adapt?
Yeah, Chelsea kept saying, like, she's not in her bag yet. She's not in her bag yet. Just wait till playoffs. And I'm like, I don't know what more she could do. She's been in her bag all season. I mean, we literally were, trying to figure things out, and she's drawing up all these plays. And, playoffs come around and you're like, wow, like she is really taking chances. She's trusting us to change defenses without practicing them. She's trusting us to go over scouts. Her ability to just execute. And, the thing I always told them, the thing I always trust is that we're not going to get out coached. We might get, out hustled here and there, but we're not going to get out coached. She has too much literally in a bag of all her notebooks and her plays and, her analytics. She has too much. And that's why she's, a Hall of Famer for many reasons, but that's definitely one of them.
The coach can overwhelm players with so much information. What does she do as far as trying to keep you guys from not feeling that way?
Yeah, she keeps things simple. As much as she throws at us, she also keeps it simple. She'll write everything on the board and has all the numbers and the matchups. And, we look at the keys and it's, defense, rebound, box out. And it's like, we do these things, we win. So as much as she gives us a lot of information, she also makes it simple and goes back to just having fun and playing.
All right, we'll have to Zoom, a couple on Zoom. We'll start with Jackie, then we'll go to Nick. And please have your microphones ready to be unmuted, please. Thank you. Jackie, go ahead.
Hi, Jewell. Thanks for taking the time. Just building off the last few questions, what type of innovation do you feel like the Aces have brought to this league now that, we're on the team for a season?
I would have to say just, they're fearless. They're not, scared to push the needle of what players need. They're very vocal in how they want the league to look from our ownership as well. I think Mark does a great job of standing up for us as players and standing up for what he believes in, as well as every single person in this organization. The things that we do here is not for the banners, not for the trophies, not for the accolades. It's literally for the people. They put people first, and that's really hard to do when you're trying to run a business as well. But it's always business first or people first. And the first thing that when I got here and hugged Mark, he's like, welcome to the family. That's something that you don't always necessarily hear from an owner. From day one, we really don't meet him. We don't really know him that well. But that's how they think here. And you definitely see that.
And also just another one here about Becky. I mean, I just wanted your thoughts on Stephen A. Smith. He made some comments saying that Becky deserves to be a coach in the NBA. And also what you think of his comment where he says, if men can coach in the W, then women should be able to coach in the NBA. Just want to know what you think of that dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, women can do anything they want, I believe. You have the capabilities to do that. Everything is based on, for me, if you're educated enough to do it and you're qualified to do it, you should be able to do it. It doesn't matter on your gender. But Becky, she has coached in the NBA. She's played basketball around the world. She's a Hall of Famer. If you know the game, you know the game. And obviously, selfishly, we obviously want her to be here in the Aces, right? But if there's other opportunities for women to coach in the NBA, why not? Like I said, it's all about what you know, your IQ. Can you coach? Can you lead? Can you make people better? Can you grow the game? Those are the things. It shouldn't matter of your gender.
Thank you.
And then I wrap it up on Zoom.
Hey, Jewell, wanted to ask you, I noticed in game 4, you were rocking the Kobe puff coat, real tough, which was awesome. Who else inspires you and keeps you, grounded, locked in, and pours into you to make you be the absolute best that you can be on the floor?
Well, I have to give a shout out to Jackie. She got that for me for my birthday, so I had to wear it. It just made sense. She told me to, I'll know when the time is right to wear the vest. Game 4 was the right time. But I would have to say just my circle. I have friends that I grew up with since I was literally 6 months old, and we stay together and our group messages are going off, and they know me so well, and we constantly in conversations all the time. As well as just my family. I keep a really small circle on purpose because I want people who knew me before, know my tendencies, know things that other people don't, to remind me who I am, every day. So you need reminders. Doesn't matter how great you are, you need reminders from people who really love you and know you. And so I would have to say my family, my friends, for sure. Without them, I would not be here. A lot of times I'm playing for them. The reason why I do a lot of things that I do to help them.
All right, thank you. We'll go to Tyus.
All right, Jewell, congratulations again. Just 2 quick ones from me. One, which area of your game are you most proud of from this past season?
I would say my defense. and my ability to set screens. I love screening. Obviously, you probably enjoy it more when you screen for Asia, but I think those two things were something that I was really impressed with. I knew I could play that level of defense all year round, but to do that and to help our team when we needed to was something I was pretty happy with.
Got you. And then just kind of bouncing off an earlier question, how important is starting to you moving forward?
Honestly, it's not that important to me. A lot of things have changed in my life. I have a different perspective on a lot of things, and the biggest thing that I, really want to focus on is just playing good basketball, whatever that looks like. Acting your team, playing your minutes when you need it, and when you have to, and just enjoying the game of basketball. A lot of times, you get so caught up in the professionalism of it, and I really want to get back to just playing like how I was like a kid. You go in and just hoop. That's what I'm really focused on. Obviously, if I need to start and that's what we need to do, I'll do that. But I'm all about what my team needs and whatever I can do to help.
Got you. Thank you.
Thanks, Zoom folks, and Roberts in person.
Just one thing on the CBA, just what are you hoping one gets done, and two, what are you hoping that talks over the next few weeks accomplish before the deadline?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, from players, we want, what we've been talking about for many years. We've done everything we've been asked to do as players and give a great high quality product on the court every single night. We've done that. We've grown the game. Our fans are enjoying it. So now it's time to reap the benefits of that, of not just us, but everyone ahead of us and before us. The momentum of the league right now is so high, and it would be unfortunate if there was a lockout. But at the same time, we're going to fight for what we need, and that's the most important thing. And but the players and being vocal and advocate about it, I think hopefully things start to change.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jewel. Just gonna ask one quick one. All right, we have Cheyenne here. We'll go ahead and start with folks in person, and then we will hop to Zoom.
Shane, I guess, how was this year for you there?
Yeah.
From a totality standpoint and just eventually getting back on the floor and everything, just what was this year like for you?
It was fast. It went really fast. I feel like it was a journey, fighting to come back, but it was one definitely worth going on again. It was hard, but sometimes you have to embrace hard. I think that it built a lot of character and resilience. I'm looking forward to next year for sure.
How was it, or how has it been raising a little more?
So I have two little ones now. So it's been amazing. It's been fun. They're the highlight of my life for sure.
In 23, they kind of rallied around Kayla George when she had her baby, and it seemed like that was like a rallying cry. Did it feel like the same way? Did you feel like a lot of the girls came together and were supportive of you?
Yeah, they poured into me. I think that was probably my favorite thing about this season is just how my teammates they poured into me, they poured into each other.
What about Becky's part of that, just easing you back into the lineup and giving you the time you needed?
Yeah, I appreciate Becky. She, she knew that obviously I just had a baby, so she didn't like throw me in the fire, and she allowed me still an opportunity to step foot on that floor, and that meant the world to me. I'm really thankful for the little minutes I got to have, and like I said, I'm looking forward to coming back next season strong, healthy, and ready to just be there for her and play hard for her.
What did you learn about her that maybe you didn't know before you joined the team?
Just like how amazing of a coach she is. I already knew she was a good coach, but actually playing for her is like top tier, something that I am so thankful I got to experience while still playing, just to have such an amazing coach.
What is it about her that really stands out
To me, my favorite thing about her is how she can connect with the players. She's able to really build a relationship, and she cares about her player, and she pours into each player, and it gives them that confidence to want to play hard for them, play hard for her. And that's why I think I look most forward to is just being able to play hard for her and win again for her.
So when she comes down hard on a player, it's coming from a good place. Like,
Yeah, I don't think anyone takes it personal. She like, cause she does coach us up, she'll get in your butt, but I think, no, I don't think anyone takes it personally, because we all know that she wants what's best for us and wants to see us excel and be great. That's it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go hit a couple on Zoom. I'm gonna start with Jackie, then we'll go to Andrew. Jackie?
Hi, Cheyenne. Thanks so much for taking the time. Just want to follow up on some of the previous questions. You just talked about how you want to play hard for Becky. I guess just how much confidence do you have that you'll be back with the Aces in 2026?
I have a lot of confidence in it. I feel like as a team, we gelled really well. For me personally, I loved being here with them. I loved every moment. Like there was never a time where I was like not looking forward to going to work. And I think that's important with an organization, something that's rare. So on my end, I 100% would love to play for Becky and play hard for her. And I feel like the feeling is mutual as well. Like I don't think she would have wasted her time signing me this season. Because there wasn't much I could do for her this season, but I think she signed me because she genuinely sees me here with this organization and wanted to invest in me as a player and believes in what I can bring to help the team.
I appreciate that. And also, I mean, this was your first year sort of around the organization. I'm just curious what type of innovation you feel like the Aces have brought to the WNBA.
The WNBA has a lot of work to do on the side where practice facilities and resources to be a pro and to be your best pro. I think that the Aces have set a standard and everyone else has followed suit and trying to, and they need to, obviously there's a lot of teams that could use work in that department, but I'm just like, to me, my experience in the league so far, this has been a great experience, a great facility from the staff and down.
Great. Thank you very much.
Andrew?
Thanks, Carly. Congratulations, CPC, on being a WNBA champion. And I want to ask you, what was the favorite part of the celebrations? Asia with the tambourine, in terms of just with obviously the family. What was your favorite and funniest part of the celebration?
Man, that's a tough question. I had so many good parts and funny parts. The tambourine was definitely up there. But I would probably just say being able to celebrate that moment with my family, my two beautiful kids and my husband, because I was literally just talking about this. They were the ones with me in the gym since since I had Yashi. They've all been in there with me. There's had to be times where my husband would train me and have Yashi and my baby girls doing project on the side, and allowed me to get my workouts in so I could come back this season. So to be able to celebrate it with them was really special, beautiful. I think that was probably the highlight of it.
And real quick before Jordan goes there, you gave a shout out to D'Angelo there in terms of his, for the passing there. How much did D'Angelo mean towards your music, music and just general for you?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of him. My sister used to play him when I was young, and I've always liked his voice and his style. It's really sad to hear that he passed so young. Rest in peace.
All right, thanks, Andrew. We'll end with Jordan.
Hey, Cheyenne, Jordan with Television Network. Congrats on winning a championship and giving birth to your son. So I guess just talk about how excited are you for the off season and getting ready to turn back to the court next season.
Oh man, I'm super excited. I think I was sipping on champagne after the win, and I'm already like super excited for next season. I think I was talking about that more, just how it just excited me to win another one, and actually like earn it, and with the blood, sweat, tears with my team on the court. So I'm very excited and looking forward to coming back stronger than ever, stronger than before, after a full year to really get in the gym. And I think it's going to be a really fun ride for us. I'm excited.
Thank you. Did just one more, if I may. So obviously, we've seen your daughter around during your times on other teams as well as now with the Aces. Just talk about her reaction to hearing you being a champion and stuff.
Naomi is in the age, she's 3 years old, going on 21. So she's just happy to be here, man. She's just in the moment, living her best life. I think that anything with lights and trophies and things like that, it just makes her happy. So she's just excited of the thought. I don't think she truly grasps what's going on, but one day she will, and I think that's the coolest part about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zoom folks. Anything else in person? All right.
All right, thank
you.
I need to move this bed.
Oh, just be careful here. Sorry.
All right, we'll go in person. Perfect.
Look, I'm on a talk show.
Your guest next to you. Yes, I'll check. Anyone else? Any person? Go ahead.
Yes. You played obviously for two great coaches. How did they compare, or maybe contrasted them?
I mean, I played for a lot of coaches. So when you say two, which
The two most recent.
oh, two most recent. Yeah, okay. Like pro, like Bill and Becky, or
No,
Becky and Don.
I about Bill. I was thinking South Carolina.
Okay, Coach Staley. Yeah.
Sorry.
When it comes to just Becky and Coach Staley, I think the biggest things that stick out to me is their ability to create bonds with their players. And when you can do that, I feel like that is what makes you want to go win. That's what makes you want to put things together, because you're buying into their system, because they've banked equity with you and you trust them and you believe in them, and because they believe in you. And I think that is what they're so similar in, and also just their tenacity and their competitive spirit. It rubs off on you. Like when you're leaders like that, you have no choice but to show up to work like that, because they're going to demand it out of you. And I think that is the two similarities that I've seen in those two for sure.
Becky gave you a lot of power, I guess you call it, with game planning, that sort of thing.
Sure.
I'm not sure how many coaches would do that. What does that say about her willingness to maybe put her ego aside in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, that's Becky. Becky's heart and her mind of the game. It's always about the next person. Like our motto this year was others. Like we always wanted to focus on the next person and other people, because it's not going to be just you that wins a championship. It's not going to be just you that wins a game. It's going to take everybody. And so for Becky to instill that trust in us, it didn't come by any surprise, because she loves us. I wasn't expecting it to lead to the whole season. But I think it's just the trust that I said before, that she has built with us and we've built with her.
And she called you the Mount Everest of players. Where is she on the mountaintop with the WNBA coaches?
She, in my eyes, she's like Mount Everest too. Like she is, the things that she's been able to do in such a short stint of time, it's been incredible. But it's also just like her work ethic, like the way that she shows up to work every single day as her true self. I think that is a sign of just a great coach, and the way that she can be funny with us, can relate with us, but also demand greatness out of us. She's the Mount Everest when it comes to that. Yeah.
You've talked before about when you made the finals first time in 2020, it was more so happy to be there.
Yeah.
And then you get through 22 and 23. And now that you got a third one.
Yeah.
what does that next level look like? You know, you kind of have a chance to settle down a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of think about what's next, I guess, for you individually and for this.
Yeah, and what's next for me individually is just to continue to sharpen the tools in my toolbox. Whatever that may look like, I don't know what it may look like this off season, but definitely just making sure that I am always just going to be my true self for my teammates, and I need to do that by obviously basketball, but also my leadership skills, my like the way I communicate with them in the off season is going to be huge as well. And I think just when it comes from a team as a whole, obviously we want to win more, we want to hang more banners. But I think this year let us know that like, and even with 2022 and 2023, the journeys were very different. But I think, but they was always similar because we were always kind of top in the standings. So it's kind of like, all right, we get it, we're good. Like we just need a chance. But I think with this journey here, it was like no journey's the same, but you can still get the same result if you buy in. And you saw that in us this year, like more than ever, was like we were questioning if we were going to make playoffs. And I've never in my mind in this past time under Becky Hammond have I ever been like, okay, if we make playoffs, we could be in a good shape. And that was me this year. Like I was like, if we could just make playoffs, we're good. And it's completely different. So I think that is our next level is understanding that yes, they're going to look different, but you can get the same results if you just really buy in and put your mind to it.
Becky, I remember in 23, Becky said a lot about, even though you guys were winning a lot, you needed to go through some adversity.
Yeah.
2 years later, I guess probably good as fun as ever to go through that. But the fact, what did you learn about this group? You know, other than the resilience factor.
Yeah, I would say it's amazing how we can honestly heal each other without even knowing. I think that was this year. Like we lived through people healing through things, whatever that may be, off the court, on the court. And you can see that. And if you sit down and have a front row seat to that, that makes you want to come into work and be like, no, I have to show up for this person because I don't know what they're going through, but I want to make sure that I can be that positive light for them. And I think that was this season was like, we all could bring many different things into this gym, but when we got here and we were together, we were each other's safe spaces. And that's hard to do. It really is because we feel like this year everyone had something to prove, and I love that we had a chip on our shoulder. But sometimes you need that safe space, and I think we were that this year for us. And I think that's what made us obviously resilient because we understood what we went through. But it's not going to storm always, and I think that's what you saw this year.
What does that next level look like, Jack?
Oh man, next level for Jack definitely has to be her leading in her own way. I think Jack has a lot of leading and a leader tendencies to her, but she may not know how to do it just yet. And I think that's going to be next level for her is understanding that her voice matters in huddles, her voice matters in the locker room, and she gets it. She's slowly starting to see it now, but I think that is what's going to take her to the next like step, and also understanding that she's on top of people scouting. Like people are going to want to be like anybody but Jackie Young, and not letting that affect her play and still knowing that she can still be Jackie Young.
Probably the one downside, y'all winning 3 titles, and I was it. You haven't done it at home, but then, but the whole rows behind y'all in Game 4, filled with Aces fans. I'm pretty sure you heard when you came out.
Yes.
And whatnot.
Yes.
What was your reaction to seeing all of them there and just hearing you throughout the entire game?
It was amazing. Like I remember there was a point when we were warming up in Game 4, and they announced this. The Las Vegas Aces. Like when you're home, they're like, okay, let's say it quick, and we just heard the place just erupt. And it was so loud that like they had to turn their music up. Okay, they're like, all right, hold on. And I think it's cool when they have that because I think it also gets the home crowd involved because they're like, all right, hold up, not up in our house. So you have this like great balance of just like people really rooting for their team. But we have amazing fans. We have they've always stood with us through the thick and thin. Obviously this year, even though they started leaving early on some games, but it's okay. We're not gonna talk about that. We saw y'all leaving early on some games and thought y'all could stick around for the championship. But no, they're really the real fans. The real ones know who they are, and we're appreciative of them.
We're gonna fly through some Zoom questions. So we got a time crunch here.
All right,
Tyus and then Jackie.
Hi, Asia. Congratulations again. Becky recently mentioned that you've gone to a new level in terms of watching and diagnosing film this year. So I want to know what that process has been like for you and what are some things that you've gotten better at noticing?
Ooh, it is not. Film film is very different to me because I feel like people obviously play us different, and they play in general, like they play different in general when you're watching versus another team versus how they play us. So I kind of watch it with an open mind, knowing that, hey, they might have missed this shot here or there, but against us, it's going in. And I think that's kind of a weird way to watch it, but I sometimes have to prep myself for that because I want everyone to obviously play me at their best, because hopefully we can play y'all at our best. And that kind of shook me up a little bit. But at the same time, I feel like I've learned a lot about my spacing. I learned a lot about where defense is coming from, who and where they try to bring the double, if they're going to bring the double, because I can now see it from a bird eye's view. So I can see the head turns, I can see the focal points of how they want to defend us, which was very different. But I had fun with that. I really did. And obviously when I could bring it in and see what my teammates see, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's a good point as well, especially from the guard standpoint of how they want to navigate screens. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I had fun with that.
Got you. Thank you.
Jackie?
Hi, Asia. Thanks so much for taking the time. I'm just curious, when you look back at the Aces franchise, I mean, you've been here since 2018, you've been here with Bill and now Becky, and just all the different changes that have gone on. I guess just what type of innovation do you feel like the Aces have brought to the WNBA?
Practice facilities. I feel like we really kind of went all in. And Mark really kind of dove into really putting his money where his mouth is and was like, no, I'm going to invest in my players. I want them to have a place that's for them. I want them to be able to work under the best circumstances possible, because that's how you get the best basketball. So I think that's kind of how you've seen us push the needle. Even coming into just the Aces, when we had All-Star here and we had all the All-Stars like posters on marquees, like people started to see us. Obviously, when you're in the entertainment capital of the world, a lot of eyes on you. They may not know necessarily your name or the team that you're on, but they're starting to see this WNBA logo being shown a lot. And obviously, it took time for us to win. It took time for us to bring banners here. And then once you do that, people start to see you. But I think that's honestly how we've really continued to push the needle, was kind of putting our money where our mouth was and kind of putting their feet to the fire and being like, hey, you got to show up for your players. And I think we do a great job of doing that.
Thank you.
Andrew?
Thanks very much, and congratulations again, Asia, on winning with the new hairstyle. Is that an homage to Monica, to Whitney? What's the new hairstyle in terms of how sharp it is?
I honestly wasn't even thinking about the greats and the legends and the goats of the R&B. This was just from a Halloween costume, and I wanted to see if I could rock it a little bit. And yeah, and I really don't be knowing what I be doing. I just kind of go with the flow of things. And since we had exit interviews this year, why not show up?
Last two, we'll go Nick, then Hannah. Nick, then Hannah.
Hey, Asia, congratulations once again. We've witnessed you evolve and see your greatness on the floor, but how have you evolved as a businesswoman? And is there any interest in having some ownership and Unrivaled at some point?
Oh, that is a really good question. As a businesswoman, I've actually been having tons of fun of just running my candle business with my mom. Obviously, in season, she handles a lot more. Just making sure everyone getting their candles, diffusers, room sprays. Like, we went from just candles to now we're doing all different scents and different ways that people could kind of still have the A1 scents in their house, the burnt wax scents. So I think I love being a business owner only because you get to come in contact with so many different people. But at the same time, I love it because you get to sell people something that they can't necessarily smell right away, but they kind of trust you in that. And whether it's just your verbiage of how you speak about your candle or just promoting it, it's been really fun. And obviously, all my candles have my accolades on it. So it's kind of cool to see people being like, all right, when's the other championship candle dropping? Or when's the A1 or 5K candle dropping? So it's been fun. We've been working really hard. And when it comes to the Unrivaled question, honestly, I had never really even given it a thought. Obviously, they're doing their big one, which I wouldn't be too afraid of not investing in it. But right now, I think they're doing exactly what they need to do with the people they got it with. And it's been booming and it's been blossoming. So it's been fun to kind of watch it grow.
Last question, Hannah.
Hi, congratulations. How are you celebrating your win? And then what do you want to do during the off season to unwind?
How am I celebrating my win, girl? Nobody talks about the what your body goes through when you just stop coming to the practice facility, when you just stop playing basketball. You can catch up on some sleep, you can just kind of vibe it out. And I've been vibing it out for the last couple of days. Pretty good. And my off season looks like I will be somewhere in South Florida, chilling out the way.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
So when Alyssa Thomas was trying to get by her, and just the personality Dana Evans is in that Indiana bond that she should have.
Yeah, Dana was great for us all year. Yeah, I mean, I guess there are a couple heated moments, but it's the finals, so you expect that. But yeah, I think just, I mean, her ability to change the game whenever she comes in, on the offensive end and the defensive end. And so yeah, it's cool just being able to play with her, both being from Indiana. We played together, I think it was maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe just 1 year, of AAU. We played gym rats together. So yeah, it's been cool, being able to be teammates again.
Congrats.
Jackie?
Hi, Jackie. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us. A theme throughout this WNBA season and playoffs was the talk of how there were more injuries this season than in previous ones across the league. And I'm just curious, how much did the Aces player performance staff help you all this year to make sure that the injury bug didn't hit your team at the most important time?
Yeah, our performance staff, our trainers, they're the best of the best, They spend a lot of time with us, before practice, after practice, on the road, on our off days. And so they make sure that we get the treatment that we need. And they're always available for us, just making sure we're doing all the little extra recovery that we can do, knowing that it's a quick turnaround in between games.
For sure. And also, just a question about coaching in this league in general. Stephen A. Smith recently spoke about how he believes Becky deserves to be a coach in the NBA. And Dawn Staley just now was asked if she believes there will ever be a woman as an NBA head coach during her lifetime. And she said no. So I guess I'm just curious what you think of that dynamic, and if it's time to retire this concept of the NBA being the destination for coaches.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see where she had said that. But yeah, I mean, Beck is obviously the best coach in the league, 3 championships in 4 years says a lot. And, we're lucky to have her. I love being able to play under her. And so just being able to, learn from her and to grow each and every season with her is truly special.
Thank you.
Tyus?
All right, Jackie, congratulations. I had 2 quick ones for you. One, which area of your game were you most proud of from this season?
Oh, I would say probably just my decision making. I had the ball in my hands a lot more this season than I have my whole career, probably. And so just being able to make the right decisions, the right reads, whether I'm coming off the ball screen and it's for me to score, to get my teammates involved. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Got you. And second, what is your Raising Cane's order?
A box combo with a sweet tea, hold the slaw, sometimes extra toast, and then probably about 3 cane sauces.
Got you. Thank you.
Big Dipper.
Place the slaw with another toast.
Yeah, but that's a lot of bread, so like
Just a little slaw.
yeah, hold the sauce. Sometimes extra toast, but
The sauce is with.
yeah, for sure.
We'll go Nick Hamilton.
Hey, Jackie, I know every championship is different, has a different meaning to it. What did this championship represent for you personally? And how do you take that momentum and carry it into the off season? Obviously, for you to get better and get prepared for next season.
Yeah, I think, 3 championships in 4 years says a lot, you know, in itself. But also, I think just the resilience that we showed throughout this year. Obviously, it was a rough, rocky season to start. And then obviously, we got beat by 53 points. And then after that, you know, we were able to just come together and string together 17 wins. And to get us into a good spot for playoffs. So yeah, I mean, that's the word I've been using. And I think it just shows a lot if you look back at our season.
Jasmine?
Hey, it's Jasmine from Hergate Network. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
I got 2 questions for you. First question, just to bring up the 53-point game that never happened. What was that conversation on the bench between you, Asia, Chelsea, and Beck? Because after that, I feel like after that conversation, you guys took a turn.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously, everybody knows A sent the text or whatever about like how embarrassing it was and things like that. And so I think, you know, that was a wake up call for everybody. I mean, getting beat by 53 is insane. And so I think just being able to, you know, lock in and do whatever we needed to do in order to win games. And, you know, that's with people making sacrifices, being unselfish, making the right plays in order to do what's best for the team.
And then a non-serious question. So on the live on TikTok, was that Miami Jackie?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I'm not sure who that was.
All right, thanks, Jasmine. Jonetta, going once?
Oh, congrats to you again, Jackie. 2 questions if I can. Just one, we saw you on the court been a little bit more spicy verbally wise this season. At what point do you feel like your confidence elevated for you personally this season to talk your talk and feel like you were that girl?
Was I?
I said this
No.
season we saw you be a little bit more spicy verbally, you know, talking trash talking. At what point do you feel like your confidence level changed for you personally, for you to know that you were her?
Yeah, I don't feel like I really talk that much, you know. The most I'll say is it's usually just come on, or like let's go. That's what I usually say, you know, if we get going. But you know, I think just the time that I put in a lot of work to become the player that I am. And so yeah, just having fun out there, playing with a lot of joy.
And then second question is, Asia Wilson talks very highly of you, especially this season. How much does that fuel you to try to be, you know, the best Jackie Young that you can be yourself?
Yeah, obviously she's the MVP. She's the best player in the world. And so, you know, just trying to stay up there with her. Obviously she's the standard, you know, and it makes her job easier if we're able to do our part, you know? So, yeah, I just try to put in a lot of work in the off season to become the best player that I can be. But yeah, being able to play alongside the best player in the world is special.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jackie.